Sup everyone, welcome to Talk Verde to Me. I'm Carter Tracy, and today I'm going to be going over my 2023 season recap and my goals for 2024. 2023 was a big year for me. It was when I started my YouTube channel on January 16th, so coming up on about a year. And it was also my first year of seriously planned out training for running. 2022 was a year that started out really well with a 50K that went great, placed top 10, but then I was hurt for most of the year. So I was really excited for 2023, and I think it lived up to expectations. It's when I think I became a pretty serious runner, and part of that was because the YouTube channel held me accountable and let me share what I'm passionate about, and that in turn made me more passionate about it. Season started with training for the Providence Marathon, which was a big goal of mine. I wanted to break 3 hours, which would have been a big jump. My previous fastest marathon was 3:21 for my first marathon. And during my Providence Marathon training, I ran a 10K, a local 10K, Nashua Soup Kitchen 10K. And in that race, I ran 39:33 and placed 8th overall. It was a pretty hilly course. It was kind of the first road race where I was competing for top 10. I felt like I was competing for place. So that was really fun. Not a PR, but a better performance than my PR, just because of the hills. And it was during peak marathon training. And then I had the Providence Marathon. Goal was to break 3 hours. I ran 3:03:48. Really nice performance for me. It was a brutal day. It was 78 degrees out during the race, and I think anyone that's run a marathon in the heat or running the heat in general knows that can really affect you. So 3:03:48 on that day, I was really proud of it considering the conditions. It was pretty brutal. So then after marathon training and after the Providence Marathon, I wanted to get into trail season. I had a 50K I was signed up for, the Ragged Mountain 50K, which is national championship, and I wanted to crush it at that. So, I took a week off after Providence, but then pretty early on went up to the White Mountains on Memorial Day and did a huge block of mountain running / hiking. In a 3-day span, I ran 37 miles, but more importantly, 14,000 feet of elevation gain, which might not be a ton for some people, but it was a lot for me. And after that, I was really pumped, but wanted to continue training hard. And that led to me injuring my T-band, which has been a problem for me in the past. And it popped up here, and I tried to run through it a little bit, which is a dumb mistake. And so that T-band injury put me out for a little bit. I really had to work back towards running, take a full week off, and then start with run walks, and then work my way 2 miles, 3 miles very slowly. But what came out of that T-band injury was finding a love for biking and swimming, and then triathlon. And that culminated with a goal midsummer of doing a backcountry triathlon, and I planned out a course going up Mount Washington, where I swam a mile in Echo Lake in North Conway, then biked 20 miles to the start of trail going up Mount Washington, ran up Tuckerman's Ravine, and then finished on the top, and then my parents shoved me down. So I was really proud of myself to, move around the difficulty that was getting injured in the summer and make an extra goal that was super fun and kind of one of the coolest things maybe I've done in my athletic journey, which I was really happy with. And then shortly after that, my T-band was all good, and just in the nick of time when I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do Ragged, I did a 20-mile long run a week out, or a week and a half out, and that gave me enough confidence that I would be able to finish the race at least. And so I entered the Ragged 50K, which is really 34 miles and 6,500 feet of elevation gain. Very undertrained, decently overall fit, but terrible running legs. And the race went surprisingly well. I broke 3 hours. I ran 6:55, and I had done that race once before, and it took me almost 8 hours. So huge time improvement there. And really what messed me up at the end was in runnable sections. I couldn't run because I hadn't run in a long time, so my hips were giving out, things like that. I placed 35th there, and considering I wasn't able to train a lot for that race, I was really happy, but not where I want to be for training or for trail races, and really showed that 2023 was going to be a year of road racing. However, I wanted to get one last little trail period of training in before I dedicated a fall to marathon training. So I focused on shorter mountain running. Didn't do any races, but I did do one FKT up Mount Hale. FKT stands for fastest known time, kind of like a course record, but for trails. And I attempted the FKT at the end of August. It's a 4-mile route, but 2.3 thousand feet of gain, which is insanely steep. And I ran 57 minutes, 49 seconds, which was in FKT is faster than the time on the fastest known time website. And that was after doing like a couple of tempos up Mount Cardigan near here. And yeah, it's great to end with some good mountain running, as well as summited a high number of like new 4,000 footers for the year, which was awesome. I currently stand on 74 4,000 footers out of the 115 in the Northeast that I'm training for. So then we moved on to training for another road marathon, which I really just wanted to crack off that sub 3 because I knew it was very doable after Providence if I got good conditions. And so I signed up for the Manchester City Marathon, which would be in November, which gave me about 2 months to train solidly. And during that training, I did one other hard all-out effort, a 10K time trial that was in peak marathon training, and I did it alone on a track, which never like makes for a great time, but I ran 38 minutes and 59 seconds, just barely under 39 minutes, which was a 34-second PR for me, I believe. And so that was pretty big. It gave me confidence that I was fit enough to go after sub 3 hours. Then I ran Manchester City Marathon and had the best day I had ever had running a race. I ran 2:58:20 on a course that has over 1,000 feet of elevation gain and placed 11th overall, 10th male. Super happy. One of my best, probably my favorite day of 2023. I was ecstatic. It never felt that hard, which was foreign to me in marathon plus races. Super great. And I think that I could go a lot faster than marathon if I wanted to dedicate my time to that. Then I ended the year with a 5K because I thought, well, I had some speed in my legs and some road fitness. I might as well try to rattle off a good 5K time. I had never raced a 5K before, but signed up for the Jingle Bell 5K in Somerville, Massachusetts. I would 1,000% recommend this race. It was super fun, super fast course. And I ended up blowing my mind. I was hoping that I could like maybe get under 18 minutes, but probably thought it would more realistically be around 18:30. I ran 17:12. Yeah, I did not think I was that fast, and you know, I'd always said, okay, I'm gonna do marathons and ultra marathons because I'm never gonna be fast enough for the shorter stuff. But that 17:12 5K might change my mind. I don't know. Placed 11th overall. Yeah, super happy. And really showed that was my best performance of the year. Based on that, I really wish I did a half marathon this year. I think that I could have crushed a half marathon in the fall, but you live and you learn, I guess. And so that kind of wrapped up my 2023. Did some other like little mountain hikes and mountain runs around here, which is transitioning to my big goal for 2024, looking forward. So in 2024, right now I'm signed up for 2 different races. They're both ultra marathons with a lot of elevation gain. It's the Blood Route 50K in Vermont on May 11th, and then the Jigger Johnson 50 mile on July 20th here in the White Mountains of New Hampshire. I think Blood Route has 6,000 or 7,000 feet of elevation gain, which is pretty big, but then the Jigger Johnson 50 mile has 17,000 feet of elevation gain in 53 miles. Now, the longest race I've done is 34 miles, so that 50 miles is going to be a pretty big jump for me. Super technical, probably one of the hardest 50 milers you could find out there. But I am very excited, and that's going to be my #1 goal for the year in terms of racing. Now, as a training goal to get me ready for those 2 very mountainous ultramarathons, I am trying to break 500,000 feet of elevation gain in the year 2024. For context, I ran 215,000 feet of elevation gain in 2023. Granted, that was with 2 marathon training blocks, and I got hurt in my one mountain training block. But yeah, I'm gonna go after a really big jump. trying to get at least 10,000 feet of elevation gain almost every week, which is going to be pretty big for the entire year, but I'm already working towards it. I've, done 2 4,000 footers, a lot of ski touring. Yeah, I think it's going to be a really sick year, a really sick goal, and I'm fully devoted to mountain running and ultra running this year. So yeah, the last thing I've signed up for so far is in July. In the fall, I have a feeling I'm going to go towards shorter mountain races, maybe the Kismet Cliff Race here in New Hampshire, or like Cranmore or Waterville Valley. Basically, mountain races, half marathon and below. Try to get really fast again. And then maybe towards the end of the year, do like a road race, like a road half marathon, because that's kind of my last time that I need to improve in my road PRs. My last thing I'm doing planned in 2024 is going on a trip to Ireland with my family. We're leaving on May 18th, and when we're there, I think we'll go out to the mountains in Ireland, at least some. And so I'd really love to do at least 1 to 2 really hard days out there. We're going to be out there for 8 days total. And maybe go after an FKT in Ireland. I've looked around on the FKT website, found 3 that are kind of doable. I'm looking for that like 15 to 25 mile-ish route. If any of you have been to Ireland, know any really cool traverses, I think they call them ways over in Ireland, drop it down in the comments. But that is, yeah, in 2024 I have the goals of Blood Route 50K in May, or early May, then end of May do maybe an FKT in Ireland, and then in July do the Jigger Johnson 50 mile, and then probably do a Pemi Loop in June as a final tune-up for Jigger Johnson. So yeah, that's what I got. I did a bunch of road races in 2023, 2 marathons, pretty fast, and then in 2024 I'm going to do some very mountainous, very slow hiking oriented ultramarathons, but I'm really hoping to compete for wins or podiums here. In the past, I've always raced ultras as finish them. I think that's what a lot of people do. I want to go out with the front pack. I want to compete for wins. And yeah, it's kind of my mindset going forward. It's exciting. I feel like every year in my running career, I've made huge jumps in how seriously I take it, how much I train, how competitive I am. And I want to continue that in 2024. That's all I got for you. I'd love it if you could like this video, subscribe to the channel, share it with anyone else that you know. Really excited for 2024. I'm going to be making videos on a lot of big mountain adventures, which is fun. Hopefully still do some road running for those that are interested in the road running. But thank you for watching. As always, keep on running.